It is actually Lauren Allen. I've been sunsetting Brickley for 5 years now, so I'm working on it. Don't tell my husband I'm up here as Lauren Brickley. Lauren Allen. But great to meet you all. Really happy to be here. We did not realize that we were last today. We said we would have brought some cranberry juice and vodka if we knew. But we're almost through the day. It's been a great day. As was shared, my name is Lauren Brickley Allen. I am Vice President of Sales at MobileFuse. For those of you that don't know, we help connect brands based off of consumer mindset across mobile and CTV. Melanie, you want to say a little bit about your role?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Nice to see all of you. And we're excited to close out the afternoon. Melanie DiBiasio. Again, I'm the Director of Media and MarTech at Ocean Spray. So I've been with Ocean Spray. I think somebody earlier said 13 years is an eternity. I agree. I've been there almost 13 years. In a range of different roles. I started as Ocean Spray's first social media community manager and have kind of evolved and taken a little bit of a roller coaster over time to the role that I'm in today. So,
I've been at MobileFuse 12 years, so we have that in common. Very loyal, just sticking to what we know well. What is the overall brand purpose and mission of Ocean Spray, just to kind of set the stage for our conversation today?
Yeah, so Ocean Spray's mission is connecting farms to families for a better life. So we do a lot of work with our marketing and our communications to make sure that everything that we're doing is really making our consumers' lives better in some way, shape, or form via all of the different products as well as our messaging and who we stand for. So a lot of people don't know Ocean Spray is a farmer-owned cooperative, so we are not only a privately held company, but we are a cooperative. So all of the money that we make and all of our profits go back to the farmers who grow the fruit. And so everything that we do is really more meaningful in that way. And so a large part of the communication strategy that we have is not only to get out the message about our products and what we sell, but about our company and what we stand for.
I grew up in Potomac, Mass, so I know a lot of boggers. We have a lot of cranberry bogs around us. In terms of how you're communicating the brand's purpose and message to your customers, what are you guys doing there just to make sure that everybody knows about that mission and purpose?
Yeah, so I think, we do try to segment our consumers and talk, as much as we can to make our message as relevant as we can to the different sets of consumers, not only for our different products, so between our foods and our beverages, but also, from a generational lens and from that purpose and value standpoint. And so the campaign that we've been running now for a couple of years is really focused on transformation. So again, kind of going back to that purpose and mission of no, I think it's just the speaker.
Does anybody want to tell us what we're doing wrong? Is it me? Yes. Okay, that's better. Sorry about that.
So going back to making people's lives better, I think a lot of this new campaign has been focused on that transformational element. So how do our different products help to transform something? So an example is our holiday campaign that started last year, and you will see shortly again this year, was focused on our cranberry sauce and how iconic that is on the Thanksgiving table, and the iconic shape, size, and the jiggle of it is what we really focused on. And that transformation from a Thanksgiving table that without it would really be pretty beige. It brings the color, it brings the life, it brings the party. And so that's, what we've been focusing on from a holiday transformation is that, power to party that our brand brings. And then, we have other products that bring different value, different things to life and transform your lives in a different way. So, think about our juices and how you can bring those into cocktails, as Lauren mentioned, and it makes an ordinary cocktail, again, more vibrant, more fun, more exciting. So really, bringing that mission of the brand to life in this communication effort via this transformational element that our brand has and that our products have to our consumers.
That's great. I love that. I never had a Thanksgiving I have never actually, still to this day, had a Thanksgiving at my mother's house without cranberry Ocean Spray cranberry juice. Yeah.
Bring it into the next generation.
Yeah,
very important.
I always fight mine. When we were chatting earlier, you were talking about how Ocean Spray has a large Hispanic audience. What are you guys doing to make sure that messaging is personalized and authentic to that group?
Yeah, one of the things that has been really exciting over the past few years for us is that we have had a dedicated Hispanic and Spanish language specific advertising campaign So we were the first of our competitive set to really do that, to speak to our Hispanic consumers in language, and we partnered exclusively with Univision to do that. So again, on the platform where they consume the majority of their media, we've done not just TV, but also digital and also some custom integrations with Univision. They've been an amazing partner to us, not only partnering to help us understand how to make sure that our advertising is really meaningful and that we're putting it in the right place and in front of the right consumer, and of course in language, but they also help us to consult to make sure that the messaging is translating correctly and that we are able to help, participate in that culture and again, be authentic and relevant. So it's not just us speaking at them, it's not just us translating, an English language ad into Spanish language, it's really making sure that we're localizing it and making it relevant to those consumers. And we've seen historically high ROIs on that campaign, far and above what we see from our English language general market advertising. And again, it speaks to the power of that authenticity and really when you meet that consumer where they are and the way that they're consuming media, and you're putting in that effort, it's definitely showing dividends on our sales.
Yeah, it's such a no-brainer. You would think that everybody would be doing that, but they're definitely not, as you mentioned, so that's great. So taking a little bit of a step back, when you're analyzing platforms that you're going to be advertising across, what's the criteria that you're looking for?
Yeah, so I think we employ pretty much an audience-first strategy. So we look first at who are the consumers that we're trying to reach, what are our target audiences, and really starting at the top of the funnel and all the way down, being able to segment as we go down a little bit deeper. So obviously, our television advertising is more on that demo basis, and then we get deeper as we go into the digital space, and those worlds are colliding now. We're doing a little bit more of the targeted advertising as well, even on screen in different ways. But we look for those audiences where they are to make sure that what we're doing is relevant to them and relevant to that platform. So we have TV as our broad reach platform, and then within digital, we have a variety of different platforms that we participate in, and depending on the brief of the assignment and of the campaign that we're looking to accomplish, and again, looking at that consumer and finding out where they are and where that message is going to be most relevant. That's usually the criteria for the campaign. So for instance, we have a line of functional juice drinks. So think they have benefits for hydration and immunity. So for those products, we focused on some programmatic advertising that was really focused on need states. So making sure that we're getting in front of people when they're in the mindset of needing a hydration beverage or needing an immunity beverage, both from a time of year, from a time of day, from a variety of different triggers that we could take. So that would be different from more of a mass reach campaign, such as what we have running on TV for the past couple of months for our cranberry juice blends, which are more of an everyday, refreshment, enjoyment, fun drink that you can have morning, evening, or afternoon.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. What about CTV? I know that's come up a few times today. It's kind of been the hot thing, 2022, 2023, probably. What are you guys playing in the space, and are you still working within the linear space?
Yes, so we still do both. Our linear has definitely decreased in favor of streaming as a whole. So we are seeing stronger results from our streaming TV. And so we have shifted a lot of our media there, but linear still plays an important role, and we still have it as a portion of our media mix. And really what we're doing now is just focusing on the areas of linear that are still maintaining viewership, that are still important to people. So think news, think live sports, the places where people are still hesitant to cut the cord because of those things. That's where we're focusing our linear efforts. From a streaming standpoint, again, we do a lot. We play with a lot of partners in that space, and specifically in the CTV realm, we've been testing and learning with a few different things. So this past July, we did some Women's World Cup live CTV units with Undertone that we're looking forward to seeing results on. Again, just fresh off the heels of that campaign, so we haven't heard about those results just yet, but really excited to see what comes of that. We are exploring, partnerships with the Trade Desk and others to be able to use CTV strategically to reach certain audiences, whether that's from a retargeting standpoint or from a suppression targeting standpoint. to reach incremental audiences based on the remainder of our buy. So there's a lot of exciting stuff in that space. I know earlier it was mentioned, the struggle of the tech fees that come with that, and that is absolutely a struggle that we are facing, and I would love to talk to anybody in the room who has a solution to that, because I think it's really precluded us from doing more in that space that, we're really excited about, but it's tough to sell something that costs a lot more to buy in a certain way when you can buy the same thing for cheaper.
Yeah. Nobody likes those non-working dollars.
Right.
So when it comes to your KPIs, what are your key performance indicators, and how are you tracking and assessing those?
Yeah, so I think, a couple people in the room today have talked about, we certainly have our standard KPIs that we look at, our media metrics that we get with any campaign. Also, like many others, and especially like many other CPGs, we rely really heavily on our marketing mix modeling. And so, our ROIs definitely are paramount, and that's what drives a lot of the decisions that we make around our media mix. And, again, where we're going to kind of weight things and what's working, what's not, just to help guide us in the future. But we also look to partners too, as we can, to get brand lift studies, sales lift studies, anything that the different partners are able to give to us to get a level deeper, because our marketing mix model never gets to that most granular level. And so how we can better understand not just the performance of a channel, but a platform, and then within the platform, an audience or a creative, those are all things that are really important to us, and we often can't get to a solid read. As a CPG, unfortunately, we're not blessed with some conversion metrics. In most cases, our online business is still, and e-commerce business is still very immature compared to a lot of the other players, and so it's still important to us to be able to get some of those metrics on sales from third parties, and so as much as we can, we rely on what our partners can provide to us in that space.
And that's a great way to offset some of those non-working fees, because then you just have your partners value add those on free. Exactly. So when it comes to innovation, Ocean Spray has been around for 93, almost 100 years. Are you finding it hard to innovate? Is there a lot of red tape internally, or how is innovation working at Ocean Spray?
I would say we're really lucky to be an organization that prides innovation, and we like to call ourselves the maverick of our industry, of our competitive set. And we try to live and breathe that. One of the stories that we like to tell is that the way that our business was formed in 1930 was the three farmers that formed the cooperative were three competitive farmers that, they were not friendly. Their products were competing, but they really found a way to work together for the greater good of the business, of the cranberry industry, of the crop in general, and again, look, this is where we are today, and so we started in a bit of that maverick way, and it bleeds into a lot of what we do, which is, again, it's part of Ocean Spray's core, and so it's exciting, and it helps us to be able to make sure that we are being more innovative, and that we're showing up in different, unique, maverick ways in the world. And so to that end, we have specific budgets set aside for innovation, both like media-specific innovation, as well as, we have our new creative campaign is much more innovative than what you've seen in the past, and pushing the envelope. You may have seen the ad that we ran in the January timeframe, which was featured a woman who drop-kicked a clown. It received a lot of very interesting feedback, and I think at the end of the day, we had daily stand-ups to talk about it and to what should we do. There's a lot of negative backlash, but at the same time, there's also some positive energy, and we were actually seeing, it was for our diet product, we were actually seeing that product turn on shelves, and we stayed the course with it, and ultimately at the end of the day, when we were able to take a step back and get some of the results at the end, we saw not only that it did drive sales and that it did have a positive impact, and particularly on our target audience, which is who obviously it was developed for, but actually it was also it got some recognition. It was rated one of the funniest spots in the first half of the year by iSpot. and you know, a couple other kind of media hits that we saw along the way that gave it really positive recognition. So I think our risk taking is, you know, obviously it doesn't always pay off, but we take very calculated risks, and I think that was one that we stood by because we knew that we developed it for the right audience, and that we felt really strongly that it was going to have those positive results, and it did. So, you know, we continue to be given those opportunities, luckily, because of some of the success that we have under our belt.
Risks can get you in a little bit of trouble, but they tend to be worth it.
Yes.
Good. Taking a kind of a step in a different direction towards social, we're talking a little bit about, you know, this fun creative that you guys ran, commercial that you ran. How are you choosing like social influencers to work with? Because that can be a really risky space as well. How are you making those decisions?
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely an important area for us as well. I'm sure you all in this room saw the viral video that catapulted us into culture a few years back. And you know, as a result of that, we have really doubled down on what we're doing with TikTok, and we are able to partner with, you know, creators and influencers. I think more are not only open to and excited to work with us, but in the same way, you know, we're able to do more internally, and we've pushed some of our, you know, a good portion of our media dollars into that creator space. You know, I think earlier it was mentioned in regards to Gen Z, but really there's a huge millennial population on those platforms as well, which is more of our target, although it's lovely to get in front of Gen Z as well to kickstart.
Secretly.
Yeah, all of us millennials are secretly on TikTok. And so, you know, in order to pick the creators that we partner with, it's really important to us. You know, we have a kind of a set of criteria that we follow that's really important for us. The standard, you know, we want to look at their metrics, we want to look at their engagement rate, we want to make sure that they have the right audience that resonates, you know, that is similar to our target audience. But more importantly, are they authentically a fan of our products? Because it's very clear and to identify when a creator is being paid and only being paid, and it's all about the money. So a lot of the times, the way that we find creators to partner with, similar to Nathan, you know, in 2020, is we are constantly looking out there at who is authentically posting about our products. You know, we hear about on a daily basis from celebrities all the way down to micro-influencers who are, you know, posting and use, you know, showing their usage of our products, talking about how much they can't live without our products. And so we have a list of those people, and we often will approach them, you know, to when it comes time for a campaign. And if it's not, you know, someone from that list, then again, it's really important to us to make sure to talk to and vet an influencer ahead of time to say, you know, like, what's your favorite product? Like, we want you to be able to speak authentically to your experience with something.
Well, you could always use the man that has ocean spray tattooed to his leg.
Yes,
I was just when Derek mentioned that they were looking for some people to tattoo, she said,
I was just telling Lauren, literally someone tattooed our 100% juice bottle on their leg, like probably about a month ago, and yeah, that's
great for the brand. Turn that into an ad campaign.
We do have some real crazy fans.
Okay, so to wrap this up, I would love to hear what your favorite campaign at Ocean Spray has been.
Yeah, I think it, you know, I alluded to it earlier, it's definitely our holiday campaign from last year, the Jiggle Spot. If you haven't seen it, it is on YouTube. Again, it will be back on air starting in October. So hopefully you all have seen it or will go seek it out. But again, that campaign was just so much fun. It's the first time in a long time. Again, I've been with Ocean Spray for a while. It's the first time that I like felt just an incredible amount of energy and excitement around the brand and around a campaign that like it just came from such a huge like human truth that we all know and share, and being able to really celebrate that with the Jiggle creative and not only just what you saw on TV, but then how you can bring that to life. So one of the extensions that we brought to life last year as a part of that campaign was we had a Yule log, you know, the fireplace type video on YouTube. with just the jiggling sauce. So it was 10 hours long, and you could just put it on YouTube and just like have it in the background for your party. So it's the crackling fireplace, but it's also got the cranberry sauce jiggling. So just like so much fun that we can have with it, and we're really excited to bring that to life in a bigger way this year. And it recently also won a Cannes Silver Lion, which was an incredible accomplishment that I never thought I would see in my career. So that was definitely the most fun and exciting for a lot of reasons.
Amazing. Well, I know what my background is going to be at Thanksgiving and Christmas now.
There you go.
Great. All right. We will open it up to questions. Does anyone have a question for Mel? Anything at all?
Everyone just wants cocktails.
I know it's about
I
that
didn't bring
time.
enough.
If you have road one, but
Yeah.
environmentally conscious and like being CPG, I'll just leave it at that. Any thoughts on the company, the home, where they're going with plastics and stuff, and then in terms of market investigation?
Yeah, really good question. Sustainability is hugely important to us. Again, as you know, kind of separating we are a CPG that makes a lot of products in plastic bottles. We also are an agricultural cooperative that, you know, is owned by farmers. And so there's two different aspects to sustainability for us, both of which are very important. I think from the farm side, we've made a ton of incredible strides. We have published an annual sustainability report. We have a lot of really important imperatives on that side of things, and have made a ton of progress. On the business side, we are also making a ton of progress. We've reduced the amount of plastic in our bottle. We've done a lot of different things over the years. Getting out of plastic entirely, we would love to. It's obviously incredibly expensive, and something that, you know, a cost that would be passed on to our consumers. And so it's more of a long-term journey of how we can do that, and what we can do to offset some of those environmental impacts, but absolutely all on our radar, and we have a team dedicated to that. It's hugely important to our business.
Anybody else? All right, thank you guys so much. Thanks, Mel.
Thank you.